Welcome to the Lord Gord Podcast. This is your host, Lord Gord. I'm giving you information that's factually correct and politically incorrect. And this is the last episode before the indefinite hiatus. And there's a song that goes, I never can say goodbye. You don't know, you know now. I never can say goodbye. But I'll have to do that for now. After this jam-packed, action-filled episode, I'm coming at you with the facts, and I'm coming at you with my opinion here. I'm going to tell you why I, Lord Gord, do not date career women. Now let's go down the Super Mario green pipe, shall we? Number one, why I don't date them. I'm going to give you the main reason, but I'm just going to start off with this. They don't have time for me and the children. I work almost 60 hours a week, which is one of the reasons why I have to put the podcast on hiatus. I work a lot. I don't have the time and energy that I need to dedicate to the podcast. But, you know, when I want a woman that's going to take care of the baby. She's going to raise the babies in our value system, our philosophy. I don't want the kids anywhere near daycare. I haven't looked too much into it, but I've seen reputable sources, Stefan Molyneux, various other people, even Tom Woods, I love Tom Woods too, saying that there are negative effects on children that have been in daycare for long periods. Daycare is not good for kids, man. It really isn't. And that triggers a lot of people because, you know, I want to be an independent woman. They want to work and all this stuff. Then they put their kid during the bonding years. They're supposed to be bonding with their mothers. They put them in daycare with a bunch of strangers that don't really care about your kid. It does damage to your kid. And what I want is, hey, I want to work 60, 70 hours a week. My wife, she takes care of the home. I bring the bacon. She fries it. She takes care of the babies. She stays fit. And we work together as a man and woman to make a happy home. She respects my authority. She respects my ability to bring home bacon. And she understands that I'm the head of the household. Now, with this whole career woman thing, if she's working like me 30, 40 hours a week, who's taking care of the baby? Like I said, I'm not putting my baby in daycare. All right? I don't want my baby raised by the government. You always notice what those leftists want to do. Liz Warren, even going back to Adolf Hitler, I believe. They want to get the women in the workplace so that they can inculcate the children into their values of leftism, statism, totalitarianism, big government. All right? Any kind of policy they pass for families, they want to say, oh, we're doing it for working families, subsidized childcare. Okay, if you have subsidized childcare, guess who's taking care of your kids? The people who are picked by the government. So, not only will you be dependent on the government to raise your kids, the government will inculcate your kids into their values, not the values of your house. So why the hell do I want her at work? Right? If I'm attractive to her because I bring home bacon and I'm strong and masculine, why the hell do I want her working? I don't want a woman like me. I want a woman like me, but I don't want a woman like me. Okay? I was talking to a friend about this. I said to him, buddy, is there any push other than the transsexual thing? Is there any widespread mainstream push for men to dress in a feminine way other than the skinny jeans too? You know, skirts, high heels, stockings, any of this stuff? The answer is no. But there's a large push for these women to be men. You know, they want them to make money like men. They want them to be ambitious like men. They even want them to dress like men in these suits, so on and so forth. And they're going to work. I haven't ever met a single man that finds a woman in a pantsuit to be attractive. You know, we were talking about how this Hillary Clinton character looks like Mao Zedong, and Bill Clinton can't find it attractive. He was at the Aretha Franklin funeral looking at Ariana Grande. No one finds women in suits attractive. I want to, not only do I think it's extremely hard to find a man that finds a woman that attractive, I think it's very hard to find a woman that thinks that it's attractive for a woman to be wearing that. And it's part of this career woman thing. This big push for career women comes from the left. Why does the left want to do that? And I'm going to get into this point. The more money a woman makes, the less attractive she is to a man. Women are attracted to men that make more money than them and are a little bit older than them because they want to be led. They want protectors and providers. It's very hard, extremely hard for a woman to respect a man when she's more accomplished than him, she's more educated than him, and she makes more money than him. That's just a fact. So when you keep pushing these women to be masculine, you separate the women from the men. Women that are single disproportionately vote for larger government. So now that you have the men and women isolated from each other, the women are voting for bigger and bigger government, getting these leftists in power, destroying the family, making these women dependent on government, and it slowly but surely disintegrates the society into socialism, totalitarianism, leftism, so on and so forth. So let's get into the big reason why I'm not into career women. And this is from one of my first podcasts about the dating market. You can check that in the archives. Did that about a year ago. So, I'm going to tell you why. Women are less attractive when they become more educated and wealthier. Females are attracted to high social status, confidence, and intelligence. The reason for this is parental investment theory. Whenever you find a species of animal, the gender that bears the most of the child rearing duties will be the more selective sex because they have a lot more to lose. They have more skin in the game. Okay? It's far more costly for females to produce children than it is for men to produce them. Due to that, it's imperative that women look for mates that are trustworthy and can provide for them. Studies have shown that women value these attributes more than men do across different cultures, and they want men that make more money than them as well. For example, Buss and Barnes did a study, and they were the first to evaluate whether women, more than men, prefer cues related to a man's ability and willingness to devote resources. For instance, they found women more strongly prefer long-term mates who have a good earning capacity, are a college graduate, and possess intelligence. Also, Richard Lippa conducted an internet sampling of 53 nations, and Zentner and Matura conducted an internet sampling across 10 nations, and both studies found that 100% of cultures displayed expected sex differences, with women demonstrating especially heightened long-term mate preferences for good financial prospects, social status, ambition, and older age. So let's put it to you this way. Say you're a professional athlete. The advice you give to a professional athlete, you tell them, listen, when you're younger, you make as much money as possible because as you get older and you're not able to produce as much as you used to, they're not going to pay you like you used to. So when you're at your peak value, you cash in, and when you get older later, you chase rings or whatnot, you ride off into the sunset. But when the iron's hot, you strike it. This whole movement for the past 50, 60 years has told women the opposite. It tells them when they're at their most attractive and their most fertile, delay child rearing, delay marriage, go get a career, okay? And then be like a man and try to settle down when you're in your late 20s and early 30s. Newsflash, the kind of men they want, high social status, high levels of intelligence, really bright, really smart. If those guys have all those attributes in spades, they're not looking for career women first and foremost. And they're not looking for women in their late 20s and early 30s. A woman's egg quality starts deteriorating after 25. And it starts diving off of a cliff very soon after the age 25. So, what society, mainstream media, academia, Hollywood, what they've been doing, I don't know if they're colluding with the government or not, but they share similar ideologies. What they've been doing is destroying the sexual market value of the woman, making them unhappy, and making them unable to find a man. And like I said earlier, when women don't marry men, they marry government. Single women disproportionately vote for larger government because intrinsically they want protectors and providers. So why me? Why would I want some woman that wants to make money like me? She wants to work like me. She has ambition like me. She doesn't want to raise my babies. And then she wants me to devote resources to her when she's no longer as pretty as she used to be. She cannot bear children like she used to be. And 3, she probably has attitudes and behaviors that aren't conducive to a stable and happy marriage. Now, I'm going to read a little passage from Generation Unbound. And I'm going to tie it into the fact that a long-term study has been done on women's happiness, and it's actually declined since the women's movement. So all this sexual revolution, welfare state, abortion, killing your own babies, absolving yourself of any responsibility, passing it on to someone else, and being a man, has made women miserable. Of course it has. Imagine if someone tried to put me in the kitchen, had me changing diapers, and told me, Gordon, working 60, 70 hours a week isn't good for you. You should work 15 hours a week and stay at home most of the time. I'd be miserable because I'm a man. I like to work. I am a beast of burden. I get things done. Only a quarter of women want to work full time. You'll never hear that Hollywood, mainstream media news. Only a quarter of women want to work full time. Most either want to stay at home full time with the babies or stay at home most of the time and work part time, okay? Now let's read this little passage from Generation Unbound, all right? Quote, based on the research of high-achieving women, Hewlett and Sandberg counsel young women who want both a career and a family to become highly intentional about what they want their life to look like at age 45. That means if they want to marry, they should find a partner while they are still in their 20s or early 30s. If they want children, they should have their first child before age 35. If they want a career, they should choose one that, while it might not enable them to have it all, will enable them to have it more. Be an entrepreneur rather than a lawyer, Hewlett advises, and avoid corporate jobs with rigid career ladders. In the end, she argues that having it all is a myth. Yes, there are no solutions. There are only trade-offs, okay? And what these women aren't told is that, hey, you got to balance stuff. You can't have it all. You can't be a career woman working 60, 70 hours a week and be a mom. You can't do that. If you're working 60, 70 hours a week, you will have strangers watching your kids. Your kids won't like you. Even though you'll be able to buy them stuff, they won't be really attached to you. You won't like yourself because you're detached from your kid. You're being taken away from your primary job, which is to incubate and tend to children. That is a problem. And also with the career woman, they want to be independent woman. They want to sleep around, They want to be like men and they want to settle down like men when they're old and their sexual market value falls off a cliff. I'm not going for it. All right? I'm just not going for it. And they want to say, I don't need you. Fine. Be alone. Me personally, whenever I see women, I want to move up career ladder, I'm not even interested anymore. Why would I be interested in a woman that thinks like a man? Why? Why would I be interested in a woman that doesn't want to raise my kids? That wants to make more money than me? That doesn't respect my authority? All right? If I don't feel like the woman needs me, I'm out. My job for a woman, and the job for men in general when you have a woman, is to protect and provide. If you're not protecting and providing, your days are numbered. She will not respect you. Okay? She just won't. That's why I don't date the career woman. The career woman does not give me what I want. If I wanted someone who works 60, 70 hours a week and wouldn't take care of the kids, I'd marry myself. But I want a woman, a nurturer, someone who will raise my baby, someone who will respect my authority, someone who will listen to me, someone who will respect me. All right? Someone who has feminine interest, not a career woman. I don't want it. So what I advise the young players to do is we have to let them die off. We have to let the women understand, listen, when you do all this stuff to make a bunch of money, you're less attracted to the men. We do not want to lay down our lives for a woman that can take care of herself. We do not want to lay our lives on the line for a woman that makes more money than us. Because we feel inferior when we're with women that make more money than us. Let me give you an example before I get out of here. I've been seeing this trend. It's been getting worse over time where I see the women driving the men around. I never let women drive me around. When I'm with the woman, I'm in control. I'm dictating what happens. She follows me. Don't ever follow a woman, ever. And I see it especially in the ghetto. These women have these jobs and the men don't have jobs. And the women become these men's mother. They don't respect the men. The man's a trinket. She just drags them around. They drive them around. I've been seeing it with whites and whatnot too. But it's especially a problem with the blacks. Do not date women that are doing better than you. It will crumble. You will be miserable because you won't be protecting and providing. She'll be miserable because she's protecting and providing. Women do not want to protect and provide for men. They want to be taken care of. And career women, more times than not, either do not want to be taken care of, or the kind of man they want is outsides outside the realm of possibility for them because they kind of men they want women that aren't career women and are younger and are more attractive. That's the Lord Gord Podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Before we get to the hiatus, get the Lord Gord Funk album, This Isn't TV, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, all of that. Thank you so much to all my listeners who've been riding with this whole thing for about a year. Hopefully I can return sooner than later to the podcast, but there's a lot of things I gotta get done, and I've just been real busy. And although we've come to the end of the road, still I can't let go. It's unnatural. You belong to me. I belong to you. I'm Lord Gord. Thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you when I talk to you.